Zoe! Hacker here, and in today is what I'm going to be doing about the armour of God, whilst I'm working on all of this foliage. It's right behind me. That is all that is within here, so let's get into it. Okay, let us start by reading where the armour of God is found and within in the Bible. Ephesians 6, verses 10 to 20. Finally, be strong in the Lord and in his mighty power. Put on the full armour of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil who are in the heavenly realms. Therefore, put on the full armour of God, so that when the day of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground, and after you have done everything, to stand. Stand firm then, with the belt of truth buckled around your waist, with the breastplate of righteousness in place, and with your feet fitted in the readiness that comes from the gospel of peace. In addition to all this, take up the shield of faith, with which you can extinguish all the flaming arrows of the evil one. Take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word in God, and pray in the Spirit on all occasions, with all kinds of prayers and requests. With this in mind, be alert and always keep on praying for all the Lord's people. Pray also for me, that whenever I speak, words may be given me so that I will fearlessly make known in the mystery of the gospel, for which I am an ambassador in chains. Pray that I may declare it fearlessly, as I should. Okay, so let us break it down on each of these parts of the armour, starting off with the belt of truth. Of course, why is truth a belt? Well, the main function of the belt on the soldier's armour, especially a legionary, in which it was what Paul was referring to for context. It's in this Bible passage. It mainly has two purposes. Is that it carries equipment, and of course truth will carry everything, and especially the sword. And it also can be an effective piece of protection, and for parts of the body that are not so easily protected. It just like how the truth protects us from the enemy. Second of all is the breastplate of righteousness. One notable point is Isaiah 59, but some notable functions of the breastplate are, for example, that a breastplate is the last line of defense that protects the heart. So what is right will protect you as well as what is true. But it also properly fitted breastplates will be comfortable to wear. It won't cause any aches or pains to your body when you're wearing it. So if it's right, it will actually be easy. The yoke will be easy to carry. But if it's not right, it will cause harm to you. The third part to mention is the sandals of the gospel. Well, the main function of the sandals was to protect the soul from any hill or nips in the ground, like gravel, that could actually do to the sole of your foot. Of course, to also mention in here, it is Romans 10 verse 15. But overall, from this we can gather that the gospel will protect you from the enemy. Next up is the shield of faith. Shields, of course, very much designed to be protected and can be a great defense from weapons. But of course, over time, shields can take damage. It, of course, is from this part that your faith can weaken over time. This is is especially noticeable on why a shield was chosen for faith. It's because as the shields were not meant to be used on their own, they were supposed to be locked with all the other shields around them. And so your faith is meant to work with fellowship with others who's around you, such as other Christians around you. Of course, next part, the helmet of salvation. A notable point to mention here, Psalm 51. But overall, the helmet is great at protecting our heads. It can actually stop you from actually getting concussed. It can actually stop your brain getting damaged. In fact, helmets were one of the earliest forms of protection because we knew to actually keep our brain safe. So, of course, salvation is incredibly important. We should be saved by God. Now, the last part to mention is the sword of the Spirit. There are two notable parts to mention here, especially John 1:1, and in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. But of course, also Psalm 149. Now, a notable detail to take into account is that the sword is the only offensive weapon here. None of the others are really offensive, but because it's offensive, you need training. You need training to actually on the sword. So just like you need training to actually properly understand the Spirit and properly understand Scripture, because this is the only part of the actual armour of God that's a physical thing. All other things are more metaphorical for things we need for evangelism. And the physical thing of which the sword of the Spirit is Scripture, the Bible. So you need to actually have that training towards understanding and getting in details of the Bible right, and be able to use the Scripture to fight back against the enemy when they attack. So when we officially evangelize, we should take on the full armour of God. We should have with us truth, God's righteousness, the gospel, faith, salvation, and of course knowledge of Scripture. But yeah, that is the armour of God, and that is also all for this video. So hopefully you enjoy it. Hopefully you smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, and I will be posting more soon. Wale!